I have a couple of these Stanley Vidmar cabinets, and I decided to put casters on them. I already did one, and I figured out a few tricks, so I decided to make a short video about it. The first thing I did was remove all the drawers. These cabinets are heavy. They weigh about 600 pounds empty, so removing the drawers makes them much easier to handle. And kind of on that topic, each drawer can hold 400 pounds of stuff. So, this particular one, fully loaded, could weigh over 4,000 pounds. So consider this when you are buying your casters. Once the drawers are out, I used a ratchet strap to keep the drawer slides in place. Then I moved the cabinet out into the open to work on it. A floor jack is helpful for lifting these up. You'll see me using one a few times in this video. A good way to move them around with the drawers out, if you don't want to use a hand truck, is to just slide them sort of in a walking motion on some scrap 2x4s like I'm doing here. This is an old Jeep tire. It provides a cushioned surface of sorts to lay the cabinet against. It also, if I accidentally drop the cabinet, it would soften the fall and protect the cabinet. You don't have to lean your toolbox over if it already has holes in the bottom for casters. You could just jack it up kind of side by side a little bit at a time and put blocks under it until you got it high enough to be able to install casters, and then just lower it back down onto the casters. I was expecting to have to drill holes and wanted access to do that, but as you'll see, I got pretty lucky being able to use the existing holes. I'm lifting up this end for better access, but also to a specific height, and I'll mention more about that specific height later. The casters I got are 5" by 2" wide and rated for 1,000 pounds apiece. They have a 4x4.5" top plate, and they're slotted for a 3x3 bolt pattern or a 2 5/8 by 3 5/8 bolt pattern. And these slots actually let me use the existing holes. It's almost like they planned it that way. I'm using 3/8" by 1" long bolts, grade 2, just cheap out of the bin stuff from the hardware store, with flat washers on each side plus a locking washer just because, and then the torque spec is tight. So here's all 4 installed. They spin freely and everything's good. This next bit's probably the most useful trick, I think. The blocks are about a 1/2 inch shorter than the distance from the base to the wheel, and this is important for lifting the cabinet back into an upright position. With no blocks or blocks that are too short, the cabinet would try to roll away from me while I'm tilting it up. And if the blocks are too tall, then I could tilt it up, but the cabinet would slam down on the opposite wheels when it stood up. Or I guess in a really exaggerated scenario, could even tip forward. With the blocks like I have them, I can easily lift or easily rotate the cabinet up without it rolling away. And then just before it's vertical, the wheels contact the ground and it stands up the rest of the way. And I can just pull the blocking right out from under it. And that's really it. Put the drawers back in, put your heavy things back in the drawers, and you're done. I hope this is helpful, and thanks for watching.